Welcome to Believers Change channel. The story you're about to watch is a true life experience, Rapture and time
The sky
viewing.
is calm, but in the blink of an eye, chaos erupts across Nigeria. A mysterious sound shakes the heavens, and bright lights suddenly flood the skies. A loud trumpet blares, and before anyone can grasp what is happening, believers begin to disappear into the clouds. The rapture has begun. The camera pans through homes, markets, and churches as believers are lifted into the heavens, leaving the rest of humanity in terror. Some cry, others shout, but it's too late. The world as they know it has changed forever. Amidst the confusion, strange supernatural beings descend from the sky, superhuman creatures, accompanied by fiery dragons. They take over the cities and government structures, overpowering the people. Nigeria, like the rest of the world, is no longer under the control of humans. The once proud leaders of the nation are either captured or forced into submission. These invaders bring with them a dark agenda, a one-world government ruled by terror and wickedness. Banks, houses, and all structures mysteriously transform to match the alien ruler's design. Everything becomes uniform, buildings made of strange, otherworldly materials that glow ominously in the night. The new world order is here. Panic spreads through the land as the people realize they have been caught unprepared. Many Christians who thought they were ready for the rapture are left behind, confused and shaken. In shock, they become captives of the alien overlord, realizing they had lived in deception and complacency. Some fall to the lies of prosperity preachers, while others had simply neglected their faith. The camera shows crowds of believers being rounded up by dragons and their human collaborators. The world falls into chaos, but hope remains for a few. Enter Saint Pius, a humble and devoted servant of God, born into a family of 6 siblings in Ola, Delta State. Unlike many who fell into the traps of false doctrines, Pius remained faithful. He realizes the gravity of the situation and takes it upon himself to save as many people as he can. His journey becomes even more personal as he fights to save his elder brother, a devout follower of another religion. Pius battles fierce resistance from cultural leaders, traditionalists, and society's elites who refuse to see the truth. People mock him, calling him foolish for clinging to his faith in the midst of destruction. But Pius is determined. He preaches repentance, warning them of the judgment at hand. His voice, however, is drowned out by the loud celebration of false hope. As Pius navigates through the city, now entirely transformed under the new rule, he witnesses how banks, homes, and government offices are no longer what they used to be. Everything is controlled by the one-world government, and everyone is forced to comply with its rules. It is a kingdom of darkness, and those who resist are brutally dealt with by the dragons and their masters. Fear grips the land, but Pius presses on, determined to save as many souls as possible. In a dramatic confrontation, Pius meets with his elder brother. Tensions rise as the brother refuses to accept Pius' warnings, blinded by his religious traditions. Their conversation is intense, full of emotion, as Pius pleads with his brother to turn to Christ. But the brother, like many others, resists, and Pius is left heartbroken, knowing the fate that awaits him. Meanwhile, Pius encounters crooked pastors and preachers of prosperity who led many astray. They had preached comfort and wealth, leaving their followers unprepared for the times of trial. Now, these false teachers are exposed, but it is too late for those who trusted in them. Pius confronts them, calling out their errors, but they mock him in return, driven by pride and greed. As the darkness deepens, strange occurrences happen. The invaders solidify their control, and dragons patrol the skies. Humanity is plunged into a time of sorrow and pain. The once bustling streets are filled with cries of suffering, and the faithful few are forced into hiding. Those left behind realize that the judgment of God has begun. The atmosphere is thick with dread, and the world is falling apart, piece by piece. Pius continues his mission, still driven by his desire to save those he loves, especially his brother. But with each passing moment, the forces of darkness grow stronger. In a final scene, Pius stands against a massive dragon, a symbol of the evil overtaking the world. His eyes are filled with determination, but the odds are stacked against him. As the dragon lunges toward him, the screen fades to black, leaving the audience in suspense, wondering if Pius will survive. The world was in chaos. Strange creatures and dragons had invaded the sky, and many people were taken by surprise. Those who believed in God thought they were ready for the rapture, but some of them were left behind. These believers were shocked to see that they had not been taken to heaven like they expected. Saint Pius, a faithful man of God, had tried to warn everyone. He had prayed and preached, telling people to prepare for the coming of the Lord. But not everyone listened. His own brother, Ibrahim, who followed a different religion, did not believe in the message. Pius loved his brother deeply and wanted to save him, but it wasn't easy. Ibrahim was stubborn and didn't think anything bad would happen. When the rapture happened, people vanished into thin air, taken up into the sky. But others were left behind, watching in horror as terrifying beings filled the streets. Dragons flew overhead, breathing fire, and strange creatures patrolled the city, taking control of everything. The banks, the homes, the government, everything changed, becoming cold, dark, and controlled by one power. Saint Pius was heartbroken that so many people were left behind. He saw how the world had become a terrible place, with aliens and dragons ruling over the people. Many of those who were left behind had been misled by false preachers who only cared about money. These preachers had promised prosperity and good times, but now their followers were lost and confused. Pius knew he had to act fast. He gathered those who still had faith and led them to safety, hiding from the alien invaders. He also went to find his brother Ibrahim. Ibrahim had always doubted Pius, but now, seeing the destruction around him, he was scared and confused. Pius pleaded with him to believe in God and come with him to safety. But there were others who stood in their way. People of different cultures and beliefs refused to accept what was happening. They didn't want to believe that the world was ending. Some even tried to stop Pius from helping others, saying he was causing trouble. But Pius did not give up. He continued to help those who believed, leading them through the dangerous streets and ruined buildings. The world around them continued to change. The aliens and dragons made everything look the same. Every building, every home, every bank was now under their control. No one could escape their power. It was a time of great sorrow, and people were filled with fear. As the situation grew, Saint Pius faced more challenges. He confronted the false preachers, like Pastor James, who had misled many people. Pastor James had joined forces with the alien rulers, betraying his followers for power and wealth. But Pius stood strong in his faith, even when it seemed like everything was falling apart. In the end, Pius managed to reach Ibrahim and convince him to believe in the truth. Ibrahim, seeing the destruction and realizing that his brother had been right all along, finally repented. Together, they faced the terrible dangers of the new world, holding on to their faith. But the story didn't end there. Just when it seemed like things couldn't get any worse, the world changed again. The dragons grew fiercer, the aliens took more control, and those left behind faced even greater struggles. Yet, through it all, Pius remained a beacon of hope, guiding those who still believed. The story ends with a cliffhanger, leaving the question, would Saint Pius and his brother survive the next wave of destruction? Would the people who believed in God's truth be able to stand against the forces of evil, or would they fall like so many others? The future was uncertain, but Saint Pius was determined to continue his mission, no matter what dangers lay ahead. Do kindly remember to subscribe to our channel for future episodes and more inspirational videos and context to uplift your soul.